what's up guys? My name is Lauren Hardy. In today's video, I'm gonna share with you what are the best states to flip houses in. Since I'm a virtual real estate investor, meaning I invest outside of my backyard, I invest out of state all the time, and I'm gonna share with you the things that I personally look for in territories before I decide to go in them. And I'm gonna get very micro in the details, so make sure you keep listening. The first thing I'm going to talk about is, can flipping be done anywhere? I'm going to talk about the price points that you want to look for in a territory before you get into it. I am going to share with you the population size that you want to look for before you go into a territory. And another thing I'm going to cover is days on market, because that's something that is very important to look at. So can house flipping be done anywhere? Well, yes and no. I would say that you want to look for areas that are not too high end and not too low end. So too high end, an example would be Orange County, California. So do people flip houses in Orange County? Like, absolutely. But the average house price is $850,000, which tells me that in today's market environment at the time of filming this video, it's gonna be really hard to find a motivated seller that's gonna wanna sell their house at a rate that's going to allow you to buy it, fix it up, and resell it. So I would recommend staying out of markets that are too high end, unless that is your specialty, that is your niche. Maybe that's all you do is high end, value add type properties. That's a whole different story. But if we're talking about just your typical rehab, put it back on the market, HGTV style, the high end markets are very difficult to work. The next thing I would say is avoiding the very low end. So if the average house price is under $100,000, you're going to have to bank for construction costs costing more than you might have even paid for the home. And when houses are that low end, the demand is really not going to be there for you to end up profiting after you remodeled the home. So the low end markets usually want to be avoided. Those are usually better cash flow markets. So if you want to buy rentals, those might be the types of markets you might want to look at and consider. But if you're looking to buy a property, fix it up completely, remodel the kitchen, remodel the bathrooms, you might want to look in more of a sweet spot, go over maybe $180,000 and maybe stay under $500,000. I would say that would put you in a good place to buy houses that you can definitely fix up and you can sell and make a very healthy profit. So let's talk about the price points. Let's go more in depth in that. So I just threw out maybe $180,000 to $500,000. That's a really good price point if you want to get into the typical value add flipping business. If you want to buy a property, fix it up, remodel it, and sell it, I would say that that is a really, really good sweet spot where the cost of construction is still not too high comparable to the price of the home. So 180 to 500. Now that is not perfect. I mean, I'm sure you can find something for 550. That's fine too, but I would stay where the average house prices are within that range. Now, that's not the price that you are buying the home. That is the price that is the average house price in the area. So if you say look up on Zillow, for example, and you go into their market research area of their website and you look up average house price for insert your city, you want to see that maybe it's between 180 to 500,000. So what population size do you want to look for? I don't want to go anywhere that's too rural. I want to go somewhere where there's at least 150,000 residences in the greater, say, county or metro area. Now, there's plenty of places in the US that fit that mold. I just don't want to go somewhere where real estate doesn't hold that much value and there's not that many people, that would be interested in the house that I'm buying. So what about days on market? So first, let me explain what days on market is. Days on market is the listing date to the date the property was sold. What is the average in the area? And why this is important, it's going to show you the demand in the area. If you're seeing that there's a lot of demand for housing and you happen to have found a really good deal in this area, you should probably jump on that deal. But if you're noticing that the days on market are very high compared to, say, whatever is the average in the country at that time, you might want to think twice and look at that deal with a more critical eye. If you are looking at territories where days on market are very low, just know that it's going to be very competitive and it's going to be probably pretty hard to find a good deal in general. But if you go in an area that is very low, it's going to be easier to find deals, but you might get stuck holding onto a property that you can't sell very easily. So you want to take that into consideration and maybe find something where the average days on market is just average with what is going on in the United States at that time. So choosing a territory can be tough, and honestly, I've got no crystal ball for you. A lot of this is luck and, getting in at the right time. I have seen markets that you wouldn't think would be very good, and I've had investors that I know that are extremely successful in them. A lot of it is within yourself and your investment technique that you're doing and your tenacity. So it's not all just the market, but I will say I've seen some really, really talented investors who have a lot of grit, a lot of motivation, work really, really hard, but they're in markets where it just doesn't make sense and it's very difficult to, flip homes. So if you have a choice, you do want to make a good choice on that territory. Make sure you do your homework, your due diligence. So that's it, guys. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, make sure you drop me a comment below. And if you want to learn more about picking markets and virtual real estate investing, I've got a coaching program you can check out at www.virtualinvestingmastery.com. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you next time.